Lights, cameras, action. Doom, 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 doom. Captain Pancake here again. Peace and blessed love to all living entities, to all life. Life is sacred. Just finished work, I'm knackered. But I've got to do a video, I feel compelled to do another video. Yeah. I'm going to talk about trolls again. I've talked about this before, I'll talk about it once more. Very interesting subject, trolls. It's like you get them in fairy stories, don't you? And you got them in Lord of the Rings, haven't you? The trolls, you know, and the Hobbit. Big ugly monsters, you know, with half a brain sort of thing. Turn to stone, don't they, when the sun comes out? The ones in the Hobbit did anyway. I mean, there's different types of trolls. Again, they did other fairy tales. That fairy story about the three with the Billy Goat's Gruff, three Billy Goat's Gruff. Mummy, have I got it mixed up? Mummy, Daddy Goat, Mummy Goat, and Baby Goat. But I forgot how the story went. But they wanted to cross the river, cross the bridge to get to the river, because the grass was green on the other side, which is the grass always looks green on the other side, you know. Much better grass to eat. But they had to cross the bridge, and under the bridge lived a troll, you know. They live under rocks, don't they? Trolls live under rocks on bridges or in the dark places of forests, caves. They can't come out during the day. They're creatures of darkness, trolls, aren't they? Creatures of darkness in the myths and fairy tales that we read as children. I can't remember, I forgot, it's a long, long time, but I have to revise my three Billy Goat Gruffs story. What exactly happened? I know. At the end, all end up well. Daddy Goat with his horns showed that troll what for under the bridge, because I think he threatened his kid first, his little one, and then his missus. They couldn't get across because of the troll, and then Daddy Goat, Billy Goat Gruff, comes along and shows that troll what's for, because he's got the horns, hasn't he? But I can't remember the exact details of which way it went, you know. I remember having it read to me as a kid. I think my mum used to read it to me when I was a real little, one of those Ladybird books, pictures in it and everything. Nice little story. Stories of meanings, you know. Nursery rhymes, nursery stories. Yeah, trolls, you know. Creatures of darkness hiding under rocks, ready to pounce out at you. Any given notice, you know. Attack, get your teeth in, you know. And they've got different tactics as well. Having some recent experience with trolls, because I'm relatively new to this YouTube game, you know. I only started in the summer in July, and you get people saying the piece to you. I love it. You get positive comments from people. You get people that just slag you off and tell you to fuck off, and that's it. It goes across the board, you know. And you're on YouTube, and I'm always up for a debate with somebody. But when you realise the person you're debating with is a troll, you realise it's a complete waste of time, you know, because they're just out to troll you, you know. And yeah, it's very interesting. What a psychology, you know. And I'm thinking, I look at these troll sites, yeah, where these trolls are coming from, and they've got no videos of their own. They might have uploaded a couple from somebody else, but they don't make the videos themselves. And those are completely blank. There's nothing there at all. There's not even a profile picture. They've just got like a letter to represent the name that they're using for the YouTube name, you know, the username, and rather than make their own videos and express their own points of view, which is probably more creative and a more constructive thing to do, they'd rather jump onto other people's sites and have a pop at somebody that's actually trying to get a message across, whatever the message may be, you know. In my case, I do mostly flat earth stuff. So alternative ideas, conspiracy, spiritual philosophy as well, but I mostly sort of bang on about flat earth because it's a fascinating subject, because it's been less than a year since I've accepted and realised that we are on a flat plane, not a spinning ball, and so it's a pet subject of mine at the moment, and watched quite a lot of flat earth videos, checked it all out, the different truths and the logics and that. The last video where I'm doing the old diagram thing about channel tunnel, I was quite impressed with that myself. I was even wearing glasses for the occasion to make myself look intelligent. Anyway, I got trolled big time on that one. Well, not big time. I got some trolling out. The first troll wasn't too bad. It was at least had the decency not to insult me or swear at me. But I put points across, like the White Cliffs of Dover. You can see them quite clearly from Calais. You know, he said you can only see the tops of them because there's 260 foot of curvature apparently between Calais and Dover, and the channel, right? So you shouldn't be able to see the whole, unless you're higher up. If you get elevated, then you'll be able to see them. But I sent a photograph. I sent a worst photograph. I don't know. It was a bit messed up, the first photo I sent, because I looked at it after. I thought, what's that? What else I sent him? Like, confuser. But I sent him another one, which was a really good one actually. It was from the beach. Quite clearly, you could see the cliffs of Dover. It's obviously through a zoom lens, and you could see the entire, from top to bottom, the cliffs. 23 miles away, and all the way across the sea, flat. Sea level. Level means flat, doesn't it? Level, plain, flat. So it was a reasonable debate, really. It was trolling me. The first thing he said to me was, "I'm not a troll." You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, that's what trolling is. I've done it myself. I'm guilty of the crime of trolling. I've done it to the people. I try not to do it now. In fact, I don't want to do it anymore, because what people have to say is what they have to say, I'll go onto other people's channels who I agree with, who I like, and I'll compliment them, and back them up on it. Maybe if they're having troll trouble, I'll probably give them a helping hand, Everyone needs a wingman now and again when they're getting trolled. And I know Jake Gibson, he's getting trolled heavily because he's quite big now on the old flat earth scene, He's a rising star, He does some really good vids, fantastic. Definitely one of my favourites, to be sure. And flat earth asshole. And yeah, he's good. He's really good. But he was showing recently a video. People just like abusive. You imbecile, you fool. They're just like people just go in there, all guns a blazing, like insulting you. I mean, there is a way to debate. And you don't have to insult people, There is a way to debate, and I'll debate with people as long as they're not insulting. But then up to a point, then I think, well, if I realise the person's a troll, there's no point in continuing, because polite troll or impolite troll or abusive troll or whatever troll, foul-mouthed troll or whatever type of troll they may be, there is no point in talking to them, because they just stick to the point. And they'll ignore points that you're breaking, valid points. Some points, you bring a valid point up, right, like I was at White Cliffs of Dover. Oh, light refraction. That's like the magic word. It's like somebody else told me the reason why you can see further than you can see is because gravity bends light, I thought gravity was supposed to bring solid objects down to the ground, not push light up to make a curve look straight and flat, That's somebody else said that. But this was light. I've heard light refraction before. That's an old chestnut, They said that about the Chicago. You can see Chicago quite clearly across Lake Michigan, more than 50 miles away. It's a mirage on the CNN guy, But you can see it at night time as well. So a mirage is only caused by the sun. How can a mirage occur at night time, So that is, and I've seen the video where these guys are in a boat going all the way across the river, right, within like a couple of miles of Chicago, and film the whole thing, to show that it's not a mirage, it's actually the real deal, and you can see the whole towers. You can see it all, you know. And then of course you can see up to 100 miles on a clear day, depending where you are. I mean, I've seen the mountains of Cumbria from North Wales near enough to sea level. 6,000, should be more than 6,000 feet of curvature there to cover at least the bottom portions of the mountains. You know, I think the highest mountain in Cumbria, I'm not quite sure, it might be 5,000 feet. Not sure exactly. I'll have to look it up, get some actual measurements down. But at the very least, you should be only see the tops of the mountains. But I could see a shadow of the whole entire mountains. It was just like it was a shadow. You know, it wasn't the full, not detail, but I could see the impression quite clearly of the mountains of Cumbria, 100 miles away across the sea. You can see the Isle of Man as well, equally 100 miles away from the coast of Lancashire or from North Wales. I could have probably seen Isle of Man that day, but I wasn't looking that direction. I was looking towards Lancashire. I could see the Pennines, all Lancashire, all the way to Cumbria from the Great Orme. You know, on lower level, not high up, but I was on the low footpath about 50 feet above the sea level. And that was years ago. This, it didn't occur to me then that the Earth was flat. I was spinning ball as far as I was concerned. 4 minutes left. So yeah, bringing up the subject of light refraction, blah, blah, blah. Showed her the photograph, wasn't having it. I said, okay, the main thing was a tunnel. The engineers, when they're building a 31-mile tunnel, have to negotiate 600 feet of curvature. Yeah, and it's an engineering, building tunnels, long tunnels, is a very skillful job. You know, it requires measurements and everything. You have to take into consideration all aspects of the terrain, whether it's flat or if it's curved or whatever. But it would be basically like digging a tunnel beneath a hill, you know, with a 600-foot altitude in one sense, you know. But the diagram, I've posted the diagram. I'll post the diagram under this one as well. I'll post a diagram, one of the official diagrams of the Channel Tunnel. You've got the sea level, dead flat. You've got the tunnel going down under the seabed and up again, but the surface is flat, you know. But it should be like that. And the tunnel, why can't the tunnel just go straight across? As my little drawing demonstrates. I'll pull it out now as I'm on the subject. It's right here. A quick show of what I did the other day. My genius. That's the rough copy of the official diagram. You know, straight across, down under, and that's, if there's a curve, that's how it should be roughly. You got the curve, and the tunnel should go like that. And then this is the, you know, 30 miles, 600 feet. You know, 20 miles, 266 feet. You know, curvature. Engineers should take that into consideration. They should take that into consideration, but they don't. They just work on the premise that it's a flat, and they obviously don't realise. They're probably not even aware of this global trigonometry, which is the official global terminology. That's no, they don't even realise. They just think, well, the Earth's too big to see the curve, therefore we're going straight through, going down and up underneath the sea level, which is too much. It's too big to see a curve. But with this official, you know, global trigonometry, 18 per mile squared, curvature should be visible to the naked eye quite easily, you know. And not only that, yeah, the further you look out, the lower things become, hills, buildings or whatever, and they should start inclining away like you're going on the curve, you know. And that's and you don't get that. You do not get that. Anyway, bringing up the tunnel with this particular troll, it wouldn't address the problem at all. He says, "Oh, we'll deal with your he said to me, deal with your misunderstanding of the lights of refraction." I thought, it's no point talking to this guy really. He's just sticking to his point and he's ignoring valid points of engineering, which should take a curve into consideration, but don't, you know. So yeah, trolls. I'm not really interested in talking to trolls. I'm interested in debating, but if you show to be a troll, I'll ignore and delete, you know, because I've got better time to do, get better things to do with time, really, to be honest. And if you got a thing to say, make your own channel up, you know, do your own propaganda. If you're into global Earth or whatever it is, or into cross stitching or quilt making or knitting or cake baking, make a video about that. Do something creative, you know. But stop trolling other people. You know, get a fucking life. Get a hobby. Peace and blessed love. Namaste, Johnny Tai.